Yeah, I was literally just describing the scene that I was in at the time.
Right.
And asking her if she wanted to come with me for this. Right. So that's why I called it that.
Baby girl, take a ride with me to the deepest of my lows. I'm a 3% with no GPS, trying to find my way back home. I'm running around with the wrong crowd, mama telling me to slow down. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I've been high all day, blood at the bottom, that's how I maneuver. Got a water bottle full of fluid, so please don't call and ask me how I'm doing, cause you probably get lied to. Got hurt in my heart, so I tell you I'm fine, wild. Chasing a couple shots down. I'm down if you get into the flood, so it's more than just smoking and hitting me blinding. Feels like I'm rolling with Satan, strolling close to the danger. I just bring them high enough to face it. Felt the pressure, the pressure, no spots left. Get a rep for getting arrested, it'll be the last time around. With a reaction I ain't impressed with, arms up across my chest. Yeah, they say you take problems, they gotta learn from them. Cause somebody time I pray it don't become you. Although they don't seem likely, I will say satisfied with the fact that I tried at the end of the day. Yeah. Going. Won't you come along? Baby girl, take a ride with me to the deepest of my lungs. I'm at 3% with no GPS, trying to find my way back home. I'm running around with the wrong crowd, mama telling me to slow down. Yeah.
Slow down. Slow down. Slow down. Slow down.
3% no GPS. That's great.
It be like that sometimes.
Yeah, I know. That's great. Yeah.
I can be your escape. Slow down. Slow down. Slow down.
And A's gonna lay some keys over there.
Yeah.
And it
That
goes-
bass is great.
You like it?
Yeah. The bass is great.
Thank you.
That's beautiful.
Thank
Bass
you.
is beautiful.
Yeah, we're working on that right
It's
now.
all beautiful. It's all, her voice is beautiful.
Thank you.
You know, slow down as a refrain, as a like a message.
I don't
Come in,
like,
it's
all this
beautiful.
stuff happened at random times.
Yeah,
like
that's the
that's the
artistic
beautiful
process.
part about it.
Everything, that's the artistic process. That's the same in painting. Like actually, in the process of making something, it's not ordered. Like
Yeah.
you start here and then one thing after it adds up. It's you start here, you might do this and then this and then this, but in the end, it all is
One.
It all one. It gets together, congeals.
Yeah.
And sometimes, like when I finish a painting, you know, you can't even see it until I go out, I walk around, I come back, and then you see the whole thing connected. Because before that, you're just seeing the making of it. You know, and the making of it is very, very different.
It's like you don't even know where your head most of the time.
That's why it's important not to actually be editorial as an artist.
Okay.
You know, it's not about making those critical decisions. It's about feeling it only.
Yeah.
That was beautiful.
Thank you.
That's very, very beautiful. Yeah.
I really appreciate it. Like a lot.
Play the next one, the next part in the journey.
Oh, the next part of the journey.
Yeah.
All right.
It's
let
a
me-
drug world.
Yeah, I recorded this yesterday, so it's real rough.
Okay, that's okay.
Honestly, like this is the
I like
breaking
hearing
point.
the progression.
Yeah. I appreciate you
Yeah.
saying that. This is like the breaking point, pretty much atonement with the Father. In this step, the person must confront and be invited by whatever holds and the ultimate power in his or her life. In many myths or stories, this is the Father or a father figure who has life and death power. This is the center point of the journey. All the previous steps have been moving into this place. All the following will move from out it. Although this step is most frequently symbolized by an encounter with a male entity, it does not have to be a male, just someone with incredible power.
Right.
So like pretty much like honestly, drugs were a big vice in my life.
Right.
Like and honestly like I'm not gonna front, like they're still around. So like
Right.
honestly, drug problems was literally just describing the hell ride.
Right,
Like,
right.
we're going somewhere, and
Right,
obviously this is not
right.
where you want to come with
Right,
me. And
right,
so, like, it's
right.
the turning point in the journey that, like, I'm pretty much dealing with, like, my drug problems. How I describe it
Right.
was, like, since it did feel like a
You
ride.
can't deal with your drug problems alone, you should actually get help with it. Because it's too hard to deal with it alone, you know? So that's why people go to AA or have programs of any sort.
Yeah.
Because you need support, and also it's also transgenerational. You really, it's expecting yourself to be able to do it alone is like treating yourself badly.
I deal with that.
Right.
I struggle
Right.
with that.
Yeah,
Like,
I know. You gotta that's why I'm saying it. So, cause it's just too hard to do some stuff alone. It's just too hard, and, yeah, it's just too hard. And the goal is really to like not be, the only thing drugs do for us is deaden us so we don't feel the pain.
mhm.
They're not like fun actually.
Yeah.
Like the little bit of fun that you have with drugs is just very little.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like deadening the pain. And
You got it.
Exactly. So you have to deal with the pain
Mhm.
in order to, otherwise you always go back to the drugs.
Yeah.
And in this generation where everybody's brought up on drugs, like Adderall, for example, like how does anybody expect a kid not to do drugs when they're brought up on drugs? Because doctors have sold everybody.
Prescribed it
Yeah,
to everyone.
Right.
You need Adderall.
Yeah, my mom takes it.
whatever.
yeah.
Your mom
No,
take it.
everybody
It's-
takes it. Everybody.
Thank you for saying that.
When my kids were little, I remember when Ariel was like, hyper as a kid. People recommended it. We didn't give any drugs to our kids. I'm like incredibly conservative about drugs, because they're gonna hurt you. They're just gonna hurt you. So any time that you're doing, it's insecurity to think that you need Adderall to create. By the way, that's an illusion. Like, because it's speed, it makes you like speed. I drink coffee. That's it. Coffee's enough of speed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Coffee is good. I'm okay with coffee, and coffee's not even unhealthy, supposedly. But whatever. but I don't think it is. I've been drinking it all my
We're
life.
gonna debate this all
Right,
day.
that's right. But I know Adderall is, and any form of that, and then nothing, serious like other drugs like heroin, never comes to a good end.
Yeah.
Never, ever comes to a good end.
My
So-
homie just lost somebody last weekend to
Yeah.
in New Haven. So
Right.
like there was some like dirty heroin going around.
So that's the story of heroin. It's always like that, always. But so, when you apologize and say, well, there's still some drugs in my life, you gotta like actually build a system so there is none. You gotta, to do this beautiful music and to create art. I've been creating, I'm 62, so I've been doing it since I'm 20, that's 42 years.
Okay.
It's because I'm insanely careful about hurting myself. Like, not only do I try to eat organic food and not take drugs, I don't take drugs. I don't take that doesn't mean like I won't drink a beer every now and then.
Yeah.
And there's plenty of parties I've gotten drunk or smoked a joint, but like I'm terrified of cocaine. I've been to so many parties where
I feel
everybody's
you.
doing
I've
cocaine.
been around it.
Yeah, and it's
Oh,
ugly.
man.
Not only that, if you're sober and you look at it, it's fucking ugly.
Yeah.
People
Yeah.
always repeating the same old shit on cocaine. They're dement, fucked up.
Like,
yeah, it's ugly. Who wants to be that?
Yeah.
So what you have to do is figure out a way to like get in, help to not resort to it when the instant you like. I quit smoking, by the way. Okay, so I smoked cigarettes until I was 49 years old. It's insanely addictive.
Yeah.
So I have some experience with quitting. The way I did it is, and I tried so many times, it was so hard. The way I did it is I hated it. I had to convince myself, I literally hypnotized myself to absolutely hate it. So and literally when I was walking down the street after I quit smoking, if there was a beautiful girl in front of me, I would go, and she was smoking a cigarette, I'd go, look how ugly that is, and I'd cross the street. That's all crazy.
But Chris, the anchor.
Right, I had to make it hateful.
Yeah.
You know? So like if that girl turned to me and said, "Hey, how are you?" and it offered me a cigarette, I'd just like walk. You know, I made it that I hate it. You have to, you can't have any slack on this. You have to like use whatever system, and I mean that about help too, not to do any drugs, because you were brought up with so much drugs. It's trying to crush you. It's alive and it's trying to crush you. So try to like, you know, break from it completely. There's no halfway.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's really no halfway, because you know, it's like with alcohol. By the way, you know, people that are alcoholics can't drink even a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So people that are addicted to something, they just can't. Like I know, you know, if I drink a beer or two, I'm not going to drink 10 beers.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be drunk all the time. I'm just not going to do that. So
Yeah.
if you feel addicted to anything, you can't do it. You just have to, you know, it's not for me to tell you, but you have to do it. You have to,
I really have to learn this shit.
Yeah, because it's hurting you. It's not loving yourself. It's just another reflection of not loving yourself. Yeah. So yeah, you gotta do it. These songs are so beautiful, and you'll be so much more productive, and you don't need drugs for them at all. You know, like not one of my paintings. I never painted one. You know, I don't paint stoned. I would not do that. I never drunk. You know, like if I drank like 2 beers, I would be like a little tipsy. I don't paint that way.
Yeah.
You know, because your judgment's off. Like everything's about being in tune with yourself.
True.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of the stuff that like I've been making lately, it's kind of crazy that you say that part, because like that part that you've been talking about was a song right after this, and
Mhm.
I haven't written that or like made it yet.
Right.
So like, so I gotta do it.
Right.
So like,
So like also, if you see, there was another thing I wanted to suggest to you actually.
What's up?
Well, so another thing is if you see